Kyle. I am coming to you from my basement. You can probably hear some fans around me. And to be honest with you, the furnace might kick on at any minute, so bear with me. But I have noticed not a lot of sound coming from all these things when I go to edit this audio later. So that's good. That's cool. I'm hoping to do less editing on the audio side is why I can get these out quicker. So let's see. I'm about a day late this week and got a good reason, good excuse here. We did have to go to a funeral yesterday, and it was about a 5-hour round trip drive. So about 2.5 hours there, about 2.5 hours back. Kind of an all-day event, but, it's a funeral. It's not a lot of fun. So not looking forward to going to many more of these, but I know we will someday. So there's really not even a point talking about it. So that's why I'm a little bit late this week. So I appreciate your guys' patience, and I'll try not to say so again, unless I'm talking about sewing. All right. Dad joke. Let's see. What is bugging me? That's pretty easy for me, actually. If you live in the Kansas City area, you undoubtedly know that the first of a chain of fast food restaurants has opened here in my town, Lee Summit, a suburb of Kansas City, that has opened this week. It's called WTFBurger. The big reason that WTFBurger has moved up to the Kansas City area, because it's mostly a southern burger joint. Like, I've seen it in Texas, and I've seen it in Florida. And yeah, I've had it. It's fine. It's not great by any means. I mean, it's better than McDonald's. It's better than, Jack in the Box, and better than Burger King, of course. There's not a lot of things that aren't better than Burger King, to be honest with you. But I wouldn't say it's as good as Culver's. I wouldn't say it's as good as Five Guys. I wouldn't say it's as good as our local favorite joint out here called Johnny Ray's. We love that place. It's mom and pop shop right here in Lee Summit, and it's great. But it's, WTFBurger's good. And the big reason that they're moving up here is our star quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, for the Kansas City Chiefs, had requested that WTFBurger move up here because he loves WTFBurger. Fine, no problem. So they're going to open some all around Kansas City. The first one to open is the one right here in Lee Summit. Well, the location of this one is actually next to a hospital, and it's been a pretty insane scenario to the point where they were blocking the entrance to the hospital with all the traffic that's trying to get into WTFBurger. I mean, I've driven down the street where it is, and it's insane. So, I get that it's kind of neat and everything that Patrick Mahomes asked for this joint to move here, and it has. But what's really not cool is blocking the entrance to a hospital. Not cool. All these people are lined up for mediocre food, which, again, that's fine. So, the good points of this opening and all that is that people are really showing their support for Patrick Mahomes and their support for, businesses opening up here, and it's more jobs. The bad things are this traffic, people just not giving a shit and blocking all these areas where other folks have things they have to do. I bet you're going to see people say, well, I'm never going to go there because of this. And, it's fast food. That's the other bad thing. It's not good for you. I don't care how great it is. It's not good for you. So, and I'm guilty of eating fast food. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying, wow, do we really need another fast food restaurant? Especially in this town. There's a lot here. So anyway, it's here, and that's all there is to it. And there's not a damn thing anybody can do about it except wait it out a little bit and I guess try it out if you want to. So there you go. Sorry, my phone keeps going off. I'll turn that on mute here. But yeah, so that's what's kind of bugging me this week, and it's not a big deal, but it is a little bit frustrating. So there you go. Let me go ahead and take a quick break. I will come back to you guys in just a moment, and we'll talk about what I'm into right now. Let me turn it over to Kyle. Hey, Kyle. All right, and we're back. So what am I into right now? Well, gosh, guys, lots of stuff. Something that you would not know until I tell you this happened to be really special last weekend. A really great friend of ours. This person we were friends with a long time ago, and then kind of grew apart or whatever, and now we're hanging out again. But I call her Julie Booley. Anyway, long story short, she has a house full of things that were acquired in estate auctions and estate sales and stuff like that. And a lot of what she has is audio equipment. I believe her husband was a real big audio aficionado, really loves vinyl, or love vinyl. He passed away, by the way. And yeah, I mean, there's thousands of records there in her basement that need to be reorganized and all that stuff. And there's also, I would say, at least 30 to 40 complete audio systems. And I'm talking about vintage equipment. Well, Booley took a setup and a nice receiver, very nice receiver, and a very nice turntable, and basically had this stuff kind of cleaned up and fixed up and gave it to me. She said she just wanted to let me know just how much she appreciates my friendship, and my wife and I hang out with her, and you know, I would never expect anything from her, but we want to try and help her with things she's needs to get done and stuff like that. And in return, she just gave me this setup. It's pretty amazing setup too. It's let's see, the turntable is from 1977. It's a Technics turntable, and it has what is the name of that company? I cannot remember, but it is their Oyster is the name of the specific stylus that's on this, the cartridge. And holy cow, dude, this thing sounds and operates amazingly. It's a direct drive turntable. But I just can't say enough great things about it. The receiver, though, is something really special. It's from 1979. It's a Pioneer receiver, and it's that vintage look before the 80s, when everything kind of became black plastic or black metal, cheap kind of stuff. And I have a Pioneer receiver actually right next to me right now, and a Pioneer CD changer, and they're exactly what I'm talking about, that black, you know, kind of plastic front with the orange lights, you know, the LEDs or whatever, which is fine, you know, but the stuff from the 70s and the 60s really is where it's at. And this receiver is something special. It's pretty amazing. And the sound that comes out of this is way above what I've had in my life, really, for an audio setup. So pretty incredible. And then I was also allowed to pick out a set of speakers, and she had some amazing Infinity. She had a lot of speakers to choose from, but I saw these Infinity Towers, and she kind of directed me towards them too. But she said, you know, whatever you want. And yeah, they're these Infinity Reference 4s, I believe. And they're from the early 80s, I believe. But they are incredible. They have your standard, you know, woofer, mid-range, and then they have this special tweeter that Infinity had developed at one time called the emitter. And it's very interesting. I mean, their units are very interesting looking anyway, because, you know, on the center of the speaker, usually there's kind of this little orb kind of sticking out of the center of almost any speaker you've ever seen. Well, in these Infinity speakers, it's actually recessed instead of an abscess. And so they look really strange to begin with, but then you get this emitter part at the very top, and it's like, whoa. And the sound is just absolutely 110% crystal clear and beautiful. The first record I put on actually was Automaton by Jamiroquai. I just figured it had a lot of great sounds in it, and I put that specific song on. It's got a lot of amazing sounds. It's got good bass, a rich voice. So, yeah, it blew me away. It looks and it sounds amazing. And actually, Booley came by last night just to hang out a little bit after we got back from this funeral. And wow, yeah, she was like, holy cow, that thing looks and sounds great. And it does. I can't lie. So I'm very grateful for that. That's been probably the coolest thing that's happened to me in a long time. And I really appreciate that. I mean, what a great friend does something like that for somebody. Yeah, so on that subject, as far as new records and stuff, I don't think there's really anything new. I've got a couple coming, and actually tomorrow I will be able to, I've pre-ordered, my wife doesn't know yet, but I pre-ordered the new Adele album on vinyl, and so I'll be able to go pick that up for her, just as a little side gift. She loves Adele, and we watched that special. I don't know if you guys saw that special with the interview with Oprah and all that, but it was interesting. And she is an amazing vocalist, so I'm sure that'll be a lot of fun to listen to, and I'm sure my wife will absolutely adore it. I also, of course, had to pick up a couple for me, and I was able to procure a couple of records that aren't super easy to find. One is Ice-T's OG, which is my favorite Ice-T album. This is when I saw him. This is from the era when I saw him live. He played at the first Lollapalooza, which I was at in the Kansas City area. And I actually got a chance to meet him just for a moment. But he was there with his band Body Count. And then he also did like a half set with Body Count. He did a half set as Ice-T from the OG album. And that's when New Jack Hustle was the big song. So New Jack City was out, and that was kind of the main song from that soundtrack. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to that one. I love that record. It's not one I'm going to be able to blast a lot because it's pretty foul, but I still love it. It's a great record. And then I was able to pick up Swamp Dogg's last album. Swamp Dogg is kind of a rhythm and blues singer, mostly, I guess, from the late 60s through the 70s and 80s. But yeah, very interesting guy. I have one of his other records that's called Rat On. And he's literally sitting on top of a rat on the cover of it. And it's great. It's an amazing record. But this new one is actually, he had threatened to do this forever, but he recorded a country record. And this came out maybe like 2 years ago. And actually, John Prine is on it for a couple tracks before he passed away. So it's kind of special. I've listened to it. It's a great record. Really anything by Swamp Dogg kind of is, in my opinion. I just really like him. I like what he talks about, and I like his style. It's a funky blues, kind of style. It's amazing. I dig it. But yeah, so there's your music front. That's kind of what I've been into on the music front. And then, of course, I'm getting ready because, on Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, there's the third record store day of this year. And there's a few things I'm on the lookout for. I know a lot of things got canceled. I was kind of bummed to see they were doing a reprint of Tesla Mechanical Resonance, which is that's Tesla's first record. And I like it a lot. But they ended up having to push that one back. The other ones that I'm interested in, there's Dio's Last in Line and Holy Diver. They're picture discs, and I typically don't like those, but yeah, I might be able to make an exception because I don't have either one of those records, so it might be kind of nice to have that. And then there is RZA, RZA from Wu-Tang Clan as Bobby Digital. He did a few albums as a persona called Bobby Digital, and this is the second one that has the La Rumba on it, is what it's called. But it's a great tune. I wish the first one I wish I could find the first one because I really love that record. Got more of an attachment to it, but I do like the second one a lot too, and I'm sure I'm gonna kind of fall in love with it all over again when I pick that up, because that's definitely one I want to grab on Black Friday. Yeah, Black Friday for Record Store Day, guys. I mean, Record Store Day for Black Friday, whatever. It's not like Black Friday anywhere else, you know. Like if you go to Black Friday at some of these big retail stores, you can get killed because you get trampled. It's not funny, but it's true. So Black Friday at the record store is different. It's everybody is very polite and very friendly. You wait your turn to look through all the special records that have come out for that day, and they're all lined up in crates, and you just go through these tables, find what you're interested in, pick them out, take them up and buy them. It works the exact same way as Record Store Day does any other time. So it's not that craze just because it's Black Friday. Not at all. I don't know. That could change the more people get into vinyl. But right now it's pretty chill. And I dig it. It's fun kind of waiting in line with those guys and talking about records, talking about what we're into and what we're looking for and stuff like that. And then, you know, executing the search. It's a lot of fun. My wife may go with me. I've talked to her about it. I'm not trying to dissuade her from coming. I just think she might be bored if she goes. It's not super exciting if you're not into the vinyl. So we'll see. She may come with me. I know there's also a Daryl Hall and John Oates live album in there that looks pretty interesting as well. I think there's even a Fleetwood Mac live album in there that's special for this sale. But there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff in there. So looking forward to that. What else am I into? I did start a new, I've kind of been into these models that are made by Bondi. They're snap together. You know, you don't need glue. You don't need paint. They're basically printed, you know, 3D printed out on this color plastic that you have to have some special snippers to cut it off the you know, the big piece board or whatever. But they all kind of snap together, and they're really amazing. I've done a Boba Fett one. I've done the Mandalorian Din Djarin. I've got one of him up there. I've got a couple of robot ones that are Gundams. I've got, let's see. Oh, I did the TIE Fighters. There's a 2 TIE Fighter one I did. And then I've also did the Mandalorian's ship. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But it's cool. They're all kind of fun to do. And I did one for my daughter as well. She's into anime characters. And I did one that's from Demon Hunter, I believe, for her. And she really liked that a lot. So, but yeah, I really am into those. So I bought a couple newer ones. I've had them for a while. I mean, I usually have these sitting around until, what they kind of do for me is if I'm feeling a little stressed, or I'm feeling like, you know, it's going to get a little dark or something, then I will sit down and just put my mind into putting one of these together. It takes my mind completely off of the garbage that's going on and kind of gives my head a little space. And I just, you know, take a little pride in the craftsmanship of putting these things together. I know they're snap togethers, but they're not simple. And this newest one I have is from a special series of these, and it's extremely detailed and difficult. I mean, usually I could put one of these together, and I did a stop motion, I did a time-lapse video, and it's in it'll be in the photo queue. If you hit that link, you can go look at it. But I did a time-lapse of me putting together the Mandalorian one. And so, you know, I mean, that one, you know, probably took me 2.5 hours maybe. And usually that's about what they take, 2 to 3 hours, somewhere in there. Some a lot less, but you know, these character ones take about that long. Well, this one, I worked for about 1.5 hours on it, and I got one leg finished. This one's a little different because it has like this skeleton underneath it, and you adhere these pieces to this, and every single part of this thing moves, like even down to the toe of the boot on this Gundam moves independently. And it's really advanced and really detailed, and it's fun. But man, I mean, that one's going to take me a lot of time. I'm going to have to do it in parts. And so after an hour and a half, when I got this one leg done, I was like, I kind of need a break from this. But I'll get back into it. Maybe I'll work on it a little bit this weekend. I mean, it's going to get snowy and cold and all that crap soon enough. That will give me time to work on stuff like that. And the cool thing is I usually do it right there at the kitchen table. And so I've got this whole new audio set up right there with my turntable and everything. So going to be a lot of records spinning while I'm doing this, and it just puts me in a good place. So that's kind of what I'm into now. And I know it's kind of an old fart thing to do, put models together, but yeah, I don't care. It's fun, and it definitely relaxes me and puts me in a different zone. So, and my wife's all for it. She thinks it's great. Kids like watching me do it. It just puts me in a good place. All right, so I'm into that. So I've been working on that one. I can't remember the name of that Gundam, but I'll put a picture of the box and stuff in the deal as well. What have we been watching? Yeah, I mean, really not much. We did watch Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings or whatever, that last Marvel film that came out that was in the theaters. Well, it went live on Disney Plus. And the cool thing they're doing on Disney Plus now, I noticed, is they are actually streaming in IMAX. So if you've got a nice big fat 4K TV that's got a good look to it or whatever, HDR and all that stuff, you can actually watch these things in 4K and in IMAX. So it fully occupies the screen instead of letterboxing it. And that's how we watched it. And it was beautiful. Is it my favorite Marvel movie? No. But I did like it a lot better than I thought I was going to. I thought it kind of goes off the rails a little bit, towards the end. But it's all about mystical stuff. So you kind of have to just put your mind in that spot when you're watching it and just accept, because it is what it is, man. But it was fun. I had fun watching it. My wife and I sat there and watched the whole thing, and we liked it. It was definitely action-packed. It had some good lines in it, a little bit of light comedy and stuff mixed in with everything else. And yeah, it was good. If you haven't seen it and you're kind of a Marvel fan, or if you're a martial arts fan, I would highly recommend checking it out. It's good. It's on Disney Plus right now. And so there was Disney Plus Day, is what it was called, and they put a bunch of things on that day, and that's one of them. They also put Jungle Cruise on there, so you can watch that now, also in IMAX. But they did release a few other things, like some kind of teaser trailer for Obi-Wan Kenobi that's coming out, that series, and The Willow. They're doing a new Willow series, I think, or a movie, I don't know, but they had a little thing behind the scenes on that one. And then they also released a kind of a short documentary, like maybe 25 minutes or less. I think it's called Under the Helmet or something like that. But it's about Boba Fett, the character of Boba Fett, and how, this character was only on screen in the original trilogy for like 6.5 minutes total. And yet he became this character that I know I was totally into as a kid. Now, I had seen him in the Star Wars Holiday Special in 1978 when that was on. He's in the cartoon that's in the middle of that incredibly not good show. We watch that every year, by the way. I have a bootleg version of that from England. And, yeah, it's so bad. But the cartoon's cool. And actually, that cartoon is on Disney Plus also. But yeah, I remember him from that. And then they also had a thing with Star Wars action figures when I was a kid. And you could actually take and save your proofs of purchase from your action figures. And you were able to, if you had so many of those, you'd send them along with, shipping and handling, postage and handling money to Kenner. And they would send you a free Boba Fett action figure. I mean, it wasn't free because you bought so many action figures. You had all these proofs of purchase, and then you did pay for shipping. But yeah, I had that character. I had probably 3 of that character because I had so many Star Wars action figures. And the original Boba Fett character that you got, if you grew up in the 70s, you're going to know what I'm talking about here. But on the back of it, it had this little red bullet on his jetpack. and you could push a button on the back of them and it would shoot this little red bullet out. Well, what happened is Battlestar Galactica came out, I think, in 78 also, and all of their ships, like the Vipers and the Cylon fighters, they all shot those little red bullets. Apparently, there was a kid who choked to death on one of those, like shot it into his mouth or whatever, or shot into his little brother's mouth, and he passed away, but he choked to death on it. So they actually went around and gave people Hot Wheels for each one of those bullets. If you turn the bullet over to them, they'd give you a Hot Wheel, which, yeah. The funny thing is, they actually used to sell packs of those bullets, and so I bought plenty of those packs. I mean, they're cheap, and I probably had 100 bullets, you know. So I saved. I think I had one unopened pack, and I had another open pack of those bullets. But then I had maybe 2 other packs that were unopened, and I gave them both of those unopened packs, and they gave me a buttload of Hot Wheels, a Hot Wheel for each bullet, basically. So I had a ton of Hot Wheels, but I also still have my bullets because I'm kind of a stinker. But I knew better not to shoot it in my own mouth or shoot it in somebody else's. It was just kind of one of those things. But yeah, that's kind of the lore behind the Boba Fett action figure and how he became so popular. And at that point, like 1978, 79, we hadn't even seen him yet, except for in that animated deal on the holiday special. He hadn't even appeared on screen in a film yet. He showed up in 1980 in The Empire Strikes Back as one of the bounty hunters on the Imperial Star Destroyer that Darth Vader had hired to, you know, go and find Han Solo, basically. And that's how Return of the Jedi kind of happens, you know. And then at the end of, well, I'm not going to talk about it if you haven't seen Star Wars, but anyway, Boba Fett comes into play. He's in Empire Strikes Back a little bit more, and he's also in Return of the Jedi. And then he shows up in Mandalorian, the season 2. And it's just, he's one of those characters that just really fascinated people when they saw him. And he was so fascinating, so interesting. They ended up ultimately making his armor be part of what the whole entire thing that happened with the Clone Wars. But it originally wasn't designed that way. So it's interesting. It's an interesting deal. So they did kind of work off the popularity of the character and basically gave the audience what they wanted. So I know that was a really long story about Boba Fett, but that is where he comes from. I don't even know how I got talking about that. Oh, because of the documentary that's on Disney Plus. Really good, by the way. If you haven't seen it and you're a Star Wars fan or you're a Boba Fett fan or even a Mandalorian fan, go check it out. It's pretty cool. What else have we watched? I mean, you know, not much that I can think of. Nothing's really sticking out. I watch a lot of YouTube, guys, and I watch a lot of different things on YouTube. I watch Hot Ones, of course, which is where we got the idea to do the Hot Wings challenge. But I watch a lot of other things. I watch the Toasty Bros. They're guys who put computers together. Ozzy Talks Hardware, another guy who puts computers together. Are you seeing a theme here? No, there's more than that. I watch people talking about helium mining and crypto mining. I watch a few different cooking shows, and then I've already talked about this before, but the Ozzy reviews, Ozzy Man reviews, we love those. Ozzy Man, we love that guy, and it's Ozzy Man, but he's an Aussie. He's from Australia, and they're hilarious. If you've never seen those, maybe I'll try and put a link in the notes, but we love them. So I watch a lot of YouTube stuff, man, and waste a lot of time. I also watch, I can't even think of his name off the top of my head, Mr. Baldwin. And he tells these like scary stories. He was a Navy SEAL, actually. And I think he pretty much just makes money telling these stories on YouTube now. And he's got like a ridiculous amount of subscribers. But he's a lot of fun to watch too. And I kind of like stuff like that. And there's also fascinating horror, which is kind of like that, but maybe not as fun as Mr. Baldwin. Anyway, so, I mean, that's kind of what I've been watching in my spare time. And I listen to a lot of records, you know. And that's about it. Going to funerals. Blech. So that's all. That's all I got, guys. I know it's a longer episode, but I mean, there's really not a lot going on that I could talk about right now. I mean, there's stuff on the horizon. There'll be stuff coming this Christmas and stuff like that going on. Oh, I know. We did get tickets to the end of this month, November. For November 30th, we're going to go see in Lawrence, Kansas. They're doing a thing called Hip Hop Nutcracker. And I was sold on it because the MC is Curtis Blow, and he does a set before the show. Curtis Blow, man, he's the godfather of rap. He is the first rap artist that was ever signed to a record contract. So truly, the origins of rap come from Curtis Blow. So, yeah, I'm excited to see him. I mean, I know I won't be too close to see him. I always have a hope that I'll bump into him after the show or something, but probably not. But anyway, we think it'll be fun. We're going to go as a family to go see this, and it's a unique take on a Christmas story that everybody knows. If you live in Kansas City, you've seen the Nutcracker probably numerous times because they have a really great production of it in Kansas City. I know I'd seen it and my wife had seen it, but this hip-hop version I know is set in New York. It should be interesting. So it's hip-hop dancing and stuff going along with Tchaikovsky's piece of music, or pieces of music. So we're looking forward to that. That's the big thing that's happening towards the end of this month. I'm looking forward to it for sure. That's it, guys. Not much else going on. I mean, of course, I'm looking forward to Book of Boba Fett. Ghostbusters Afterlife comes out this weekend. There's a lot of things coming out that should be kind of fun to watch and will be interesting. But nothing I'm really super crazy about right now. I mean, what I'm really super crazy about right now is music, specifically vinyl and this new setup I've got. And I did start reading a book too. I can't remember the name of it, but it's an author that Joe Lansdale had recommended on Facebook. He had a recommendation, go check this guy's books out. And so I did check one out. I think it's called American Trash, but it's a kind of like a mafia crime type situation, but it's set in Branson, Missouri. So interesting. But I've been reading it, and boy, it's outrageously foul. Violence-wise, sex-wise, crime-wise, it's foul, but it's good. It's well written, and it's a good story. It's just dirty in a lot of ways. But that's it, guys. Not much else to talk about. I appreciate you guys tuning in and listening every week, and yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at that. And I will catch you guys next week. I'm gonna try and be on time again, just like I was this time. But until I do that, get off my lawn.